Hey, this is a video response to Fear 2005's video, Caution, You Are Being Watched and Investigated. The reason that I got to his video was I've been having for the past week or two, some really strange things happen. And something really strange happened, well, yesterday now, because it's like 12:30 in the morning, yesterday. And it's one of those things where you really want to talk about it, but because of the content of it, you really can't talk about it. Um, but it was very scary to me. And so I kind of wanted, because I started using YouTube a little bit. First, it was just to vent out, my feelings and things like that. But then I saw where there's a lot of concerns, being a woman that's, a single woman without family, without friends, and, mostly just to myself, there's a lot of things that I'm concerned about that I really don't have anyone to talk to about. So, sometimes I find myself venting on YouTube, or um and of late I've started, like, searching other YouTubers' videos for information that may be linked to, things that I'm experiencing, so that I could try to post comments and things like that, and hopefully, establish some type of rapport with that person where it's a little back and forth, where they can, kind of, if they had experiences similar to mine, they can share or give me their input on it. And it's very therapeutic and relieving to see that, you're not the only one in certain situations. Now, you mentioned a few things in your video that was very true to me, that rang true to me, and there was a lot of them, so I might be hopping around. But one, I'm going to tell you about me. I was falsely accused and convicted um, in 2007 of theft of intellectual property and trade secrets. It was appealed and it was overturned. But the thing about it was, it was in, just like you said, people that are innocent as a baby. I was at that time. I'm very different now than I was then, um, because of the things that I've been through during that course. I didn't have family and friends, so they court ordered me to a homeless shelter. Um, because of course I guess that their thing was that they wanted to be able to find me if something happened. But in addition to that, I think a reason for that is socialization too. It's introducing you to this system of institutionalization. And because prior to that, and maybe prior to that, I was, being watched, but I didn't really think about it or know it. I was doing webcam things and things like that, where, just for company, I would just have the webcam on while I slept and everything. And I would notice sometimes, like when I was on the camera, it was kind of weird, like it was me, but it didn't seem like me. Um, and what you were saying too about, paranoia and things like that, some things you don't want to speak on because, again, like you said, the general population, um, that word has been planted into their minds, and it's just like they will take that and run. And when all you have is you can't afford to have those types of labels placed on you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very careful um, about, what I'm feeling, what I'm sensing, and that type of thing. And I think, and when I was, and the weird thing about that legal situation, everybody, the people in court was just like, oh, they knew that, I didn't do whatever, whatever. But I'm like, if you know, then why aren't you fighting, to get this thing taken care of? But and at one point, the person that was they sent a couple of different prosecuting attorneys in, and at one point, the person that was prosecuting, she was just like, and I don't know if the first one quit or they felt that he wasn't strong enough, but she was just like, the reason that they're, and because first everybody in court was saying she was doing it because, you know, I was trying to go pro se, and she wanted to prove her point that, I mean, prove her point. She wanted me to try to, and they always do that. It's the same formula. They want you to take a plea and this, that, and the other, but you're not guilty. Why would you do that? And what she said that made me believe that it wasn't her doing, that she was just a puppet to go along with it. And even though she was a puppet, she was going to stand as hard and firm as she could in whatever they was telling her to do because that was her job. But she was like, she said to the judge, she said to him, because he even said he didn't believe. She was just like, and I think maybe she tried to go to whoever was in charge of her and see if they could just wipe it out, but I guess they wouldn't. And what she said to the judge, what she said to him was, oh, I think they're trying to use her as an example. I think that's what they're trying to do. And then after that legal situation happened, I had really, like, literally FBI approaching me, and they weren't discreet about it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if they weren't discreet because they wanted me to know who they were in a positive way, like they were trying to help me, or if they weren't discreet because they wanted to put fear in me, or if they weren't discreet because they were trying to portray that they were, there to help me and trying to see if they would see any different results. But I'm just me. I'm always 100% open and translucent. Um, there's a whole lot to it, as you probably know, but it's so much that you can't really get into. I mean, that's years worth of stuff. And what you were saying about how there's a lot that but you can't really speak on, because and some things like for me, I can't, my mouth can't even form the words to speak it because it's just something that stops me from doing it. And I think that maybe it's just the nature, human animal instinct that you really don't want to go there. And I remember a few years ago I was reading this book about this thing that happened in Cuba where I forgot who it was, but these people were really like prisoners of war in their own country, and they had like every hour, I mean, just really some really atrocious things happening. And I remember, I live in South Florida, and I remember at the time I was around a lot of like Hispanic people, so I told this Cuban guy, I was like, I'm reading this book or whatever, and I was like, I can't believe that happened. He was like, it's true. And what he said to me when he looked me in my eyes, he said to me, you know, and it had to be far worse than that because that's only what they're publishing. And I truly understand what he meant by that, because what that means probably is that even though these were innocent people, through all they went through and seen, there's things that they can't tell. Things that they can't tell because they've been introduced to stuff that they should not have been introduced to. And so I understand all of that. And one thing too, like recently, I've been saying little things here and there, and then I put everything on the internet. So like you said, to try to find your weaknesses, and I kind of sensed that when I was in court too. So I would throw stuff out there. It was true stuff because I just wanted to see if they would bite it. But they definitely are biting it now. Like the weird situations that I've had happening, of course, I have my computer doing weird things, but and this is what I'm noticing too, that other people that I used to watch on different channels that would put up information, they would complain about the stuff and it sounded just absolutely crazy. But one lady, she was lucky enough to have like a roommate or somebody that saw what had happened, computers malfunctioning. I had that happen. I had 2 computers at home, and how about I left for an hour, came back, both of those computers were completely out, and I had to buy another one. It was just crazy. And then like recently I was stalked, and there was no reason for me to be stalked. This person just came out of nowhere. It wasn't like it was obviously planned, but the way it was almost like it was. Got off of the bus with me, not with me, but I was very suspicious. Had a video about it earlier, and then yesterday I had something really strange happen, and I don't want to mention it because but it was just really, really odd. And I was going to go back and backtrack and see if some of the people that I knew that was around there that I didn't speak to because I had something to do, if they noticed it. But I forgot about it by the time that was over because I had another bout of weirdness happen. So you're right about all that. And what I did want to ask you was, I noticed your icon or your avatar on your page was like the red moon, and I would never have known what that was. But one day I was in South Miami, and this woman started talking to me out of the blue as usual about red blood moons and all this, and I was like, she wanted me to look it up and this, that, and the other. And I was just like, I started to look it up, just out of curiosity. But when I started to look it up, I mean, it just all seemed it wasn't very engaging, you know what I'm saying? And I couldn't really get into it. So if you know something about that and you don't mind posting it, because you seem to be able to break it down and a way that I can relate to, I'd appreciate it. But to me, it was just something about some kind of prophecy about, on a certain day the moon turns red or something. I don't know, but it just all just seemed kind of out there. So, and most of the stuff really does until you start seeing the pieces come back together. So if that's something that you know about and you don't mind explaining, I'd appreciate it. Um, what else did you talk about in your video that I could relate to? Yeah, and you talk about people disappearing and stuff like that. Yeah, that's a scary thing. And then what I noticed, like, because like I said, I don't have anybody to talk to, so sometimes I try to use, online media to see if I can find somebody I can actually interview about it and ask questions to. But people, it's just like they're just like, no, but I would like to get to know you. And I'm just like, I don't know if that's just males being sleazy, or if they're scared to talk about it, or they made a conscious decision not to, or maybe a combination of both. I don't know. So those are things I'm interested in. Just because I'm not gonna be doing anything, and I keep saying that. But because I'm curious, I want to know what the hell is going on. I mean, it's really some weird stuff. And then, like, I try to go around it edgewise, but the thing is that, and I'm a naturalist, so that's why I appear the way that I do. But I did a video on another channel about just all the stuff I'm seeing in healthcare that's really atrocious. A lot of people recently in the news have been going in and not coming out, for simple stuff. And I'm just like, how are they, and with the new healthcare thing that's going on, how are they even wanting to suggest that with all these bad things that are happening? And then the thing about it is, like you said, most of the population is unconscious, because people are was coming to my YouTube channel, talking about stuff that didn't even matter on that page. I'm like, do you not put two and two together? Do you not see what I'm saying here? You know? And I just, so if you don't mind, and hopefully, and I think you're a conscious person, so hopefully, this video comes off to you the right way. That basically, I just want some information. I want to know what the hell is going on. And I just wanted to share with you that I could relate to a lot of the stuff that you were saying. I understood that. And in that video that you made, you seemed a little scared. And the thing about it that got me is that video was in 2010. But in 2010, I didn't have anything happening to me because, again, 2007, I was pulled into a homeless shelter, and then all these things as a result. And I wanted to kind of wait till everything was completely, not completely, but mostly over, and before I made another move. And you're right about the movie Matrix. It is a big parallel. I think there's a lot of life imitates art and vice versa. Now, with the Matrix movie, that's like prophetic to me beyond all time. The one scene that always stands out in my mind is when Neo was in the office building and he was ducked down and he had the phone. And, you know, I forgot what his name was. Samuel L. Jackson was just like, go this, there's some guys heading this way. He was like, what do you want? What do they want? And he was like, I don't know, but, you could stay there and find out and move. And it's almost like, in our lives, it's almost like we're in the Matrix a little bit. Like, we have perilous situations that come to us, but for me, it's almost like I have that phone, and at the last minute, the person that's playing the role of Samuel Jackson, like God, I'll be, I'm being led, you know what I'm saying, in different directions to kind of thwart whatever's going on. And I don't even know I'm being led, but like things happen specifically and almost perfectly. The puzzle pieces just perfectly fit in, and it's just like the oddest thing. So even though there's a lot of weird things going on, like people would say from the scary part, but there's weird things going on for the good too. It's just like, so I think all of it is a divine interaction, we want to call it of good and evil, but, or whatever you want to call it, it's all of it's kind of orchestrated together, you know. So let me know what your thoughts are, if you don't mind. I would really appreciate it. I don't know how to do like the inbox thing, and I'm very open anyway, so that's why I put everything out like that. But I would appreciate it, or if any of your viewers have any comments or anything they would like to share with me. Again, this is just a way for me to kind of open discussion about it, because I really don't have anywhere to talk about it at. Okay, so peace, love, and blessings, and thank you for in advance taking the time to listen. Thanks.